What's up, nerds? Welcome to Cool Nerds Worst to First. It's not your average countdown, where we take topics and rank them from worst to first. In this episode, we're going to take a look at all of the live-action theatrically released Star Wars films. This recording includes episodes 1 through 7 and Rogue One, so grab yourself a tall glass of blue milk, sit back, and enjoy our list.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
And that's pretty much how everyone feels about Attack of the Clones. The sequel to The Phantom Menace manages to do just about everything wrong, all while confirming the suspicions Episode 1 gave us about the quality of the prequels. The action is almost as lifeless as the cardboard cutout performances from the main cast. The forced love story, get it, is cringeworthy at best. And although we do get to see Master Yoda in battle, they basically turned him into the Tasmanian Devil with the lightsaber. We could probably dedicate an entire video on why Episode 2 is a blemish on the legacy of Star Wars, but we'll save you the time and just say steer clear of this movie like it's a Sarlacc pit.
Die, Jedi gods! What did I say? It's Skywalker! Amazing!
The release of Episode 1 in '99 was a very exciting time. Having grown up with watching the original trilogy and collecting enough toys to start an actual army, you can imagine I was first in line to see what was surely going to be the start of the next great chapter in the revered franchise. And then we got Jar Jar.
No, Mr. Stay. Mr. called Jar Jar Binks. Mr. your humble servant.
That won't be necessary.
Oh, but it is. 'Tis demanded by the gods, it is.
Episode 1 had all the promise in the world, but fell well short of expectations, spending more time talking about peace treaties with oddly racist stereotypes posed as alien races
I was not aware of such failure.
than showing us any of the badass sci-fi action and lore that drew us to the trilogy in the first place. The movie introduced midichlorians as a scientific representation of the Force that showed up in a blood test like some sort of STD. Not to mention Anakin was an immaculate Force birth. What the fuck? It almost made the 11-minute pod racing scene tolerable. Now that's not to say Episode 1 didn't have any redeeming qualities. Darth Maul was an awesome, yet criminally underutilized villain. Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn was a nice addition. And the score by John Williams, especially The Duel of the Fates, was some of the best the series has ever had. All that being said, not even the most powerful of Jedi mind tricks can get us to rank this movie higher on our list.
Now this is pod racing.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them! Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness!
Ah, the best of the prequels. But like my grandpa always used to say, you can polish a turd, but at the end of the day, it's still a turd. That might be a little too harsh. After all, Revenge of the Sith is pretty entertaining for the most part. It has epic space battles, lightsaber duels, and the fall of the Jedi Order. So why isn't it higher on our list, you ask? For every step this movie takes forward, it takes 2 steps backwards. We are introduced to the same politics and scheming that halted the pace of the previous 2 films to a standstill. The weak dialogue was on par with the rest of the prequels. Even the actors had a hard time delivering it.
Not even the younglings survived.
And the origin of Darth Vader seemed so rushed, it almost detracted from the appeal the dark and mysterious character had in the original films. While Episode 3 is easily the most enjoyable out of the prequels, the trilogy as a whole left us feeling like Anakin finding out he choked his wife to death. Or did she just kind of lose the will to live when he went to the dark side? That was still kind of unclear. I mean, that's sort of a dick move really now that I think about it. She just had 2 kids.
Force is strong in my family. My father has it. I have it. And my sister has it.
Ah, now we're talking. The original trilogy. Let's get the negative stuff out of the way real quick, because it physically hurts me to talk trash about the remaining films. Episode 6 fell victim to its success. The Ewoks were added strictly to sell toys, and it came across as kind of goofy. Okay, good. Now that that's out of the way, Return of the Jedi, while being my least favorite of the original trilogy, is still filled with the awesome sci-fi action and storytelling we've come to expect from these films, all the while tying up questions that Empire left us with. Vader's redemption in this movie is very poignant. Han and Leia getting together is heartwarming, and the galaxy is saved from the oppression of the Empire. And for all those reasons, Return of the Jedi holds a special place in our hearts.
What chance do we have? The question is, what choice? Run, hide, plead for mercy, scatter your forces. You give way to an enemy this evil with this much power, and you condemn the galaxy to an eternity of submission. The time to fight is now!
This goes without saying. Spoiler alert for Rogue One if you haven't seen it. Still with us? Good. Rogue One is the first attempt from Lucasfilm to divert from the original saga films, and for all intents and purposes, it works pretty well. The story of the mission to steal the Death Star plans is one we all knew happened, but now we finally get to see it. Gareth Edwards does a great job of giving you a feel of what it's like living in an Imperial-occupied area, all while blurring the lines between good and bad with regards to the rebellion. Aside from the new droid, K2SO, Jyn Erso, and Donnie Yen, the supporting cast is almost forgettable. Oh, and Darth Vader made a pretty bad dad joke, which showed a bit of Disney meddling. But boy, did he make up for it in the end scene where he went to get the plans, and he was all like, give me the plans. And the rebels were all like, come get him. And then he force choked the shit out of that one guy and took all their weapons and turned on his lightsabers, all like, and they were like, ah! Sorry, I got carried away there for a second. Anyway, Rogue One is a great addition to the Star Wars legacy, and it makes us all excited to see where these anthology films go in the future.
Congratulations. You are being rescued. Please do not resist.
People are counting on us. The galaxy is counting on us. Solo, we'll figure it out. We'll use the Force. That's not how the Force works. Oh, really? You're cold? Come on.
The newest addition to the saga films, The Force Awakens, had everyone a little nervous, and rightfully so. Nobody wanted another trilogy centered around trade routes and peace treaties, but boy did Lucasfilm and J.J. Abrams deliver. The Force Awakens not only paid homage to its predecessors, but did it while feeling uniquely its own. Some can say the plot was a retread of A New Hope, but hey, is that really a bad thing? The new characters are instantly lovable, the practical effects added a nostalgia factor the prequels lacked, and the returning characters brought full-grown men to tears. The Force Awakens kick open the door for future Star Wars films to come, and I can speak for all nerds when I say,
Chewie, we're home.
Use the Force, Luke. Let go, Luke.
The Force is strong in this one.
Luke, trust me.
The movie that started it all in 1977, A New Hope dropped and completely changed the landscape of blockbuster movies as we know it. Innovative is an understatement when talking about Episode 4. What this movie accomplished for its time was mind-blowing. Forget world building, Lucas built a universe with some of the most iconic characters in cinematic history, amazing visual effects, and lore that formed actual religions. I mean, come on, if you're telling me you didn't come out of A New Hope and immediately tried to force pull the remote from across the room, you're a bold-faced liar. This movie meant a lot to a lot of people, so much so that we can ignore Luke whining his way off Tatooine, and that stormtrooper that knocked himself out on the doorway. You know, this one. Also, Han shot first. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
Yes, I bet you have.
All right, I'll give it a try.
No. Try not. Do. Or do not. There is no try.
We made it to the best of the best in the world of the Star Wars movies. Empire Strikes Back. The darker, more serious, and more epic big brother of Episode 4. A New Hope ends with smiles and gold medals, which sets up Empire to kick you square in the nuts. The movie takes our heroes and runs them through a gauntlet, leaving them defeated and spread across the galaxy. At the time, moviegoers weren't used to having the protagonist lose, and Empire Strikes Back gave that to us in spades. It also set a trend of movies having darker and more serious tones in their sequels. The dialogue is quick and clever, the new locations are unique and beautiful to look at, the action set pieces are iconic, and not to mention, it has one of the best twists in movie history. 3-decade-old spoiler alert, I guess.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
No. I am your father.
This movie is not only the best Star Wars film, it is one of the most influential films of all time. It's a must-watch for anyone with a working pair of eyes.
I love you.
I know.
And there you have it. Thanks for joining us for our worst to first trip to a galaxy far, far away. Please don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Check out all of our other videos over on our channel, Cool Nerd Show, and may the Force be with you.